My name is Rhett Oudkerk Pool. I'm the founder of EOS Amsterdam. And a few years ago in Norway, when we had a block producer convention, I rattled all the European block producers together and introduced my idea to launch a special chain, the Europe chain for Europe. Because in Europe we have certain privacy laws that make it very difficult for enterprises or anybody basically to do anything with the blockchain. All the block producers in Europe thought that was an interesting idea. Some of them joined me in that adventure. Crypto Alliance was one of them. EOS Dublin was one of them. Dutch EOS, still active on Telos, was one of them. And later EOS Barcelona joined the team and we launched the Europe chain. We invested in some identity tooling. We did some other stuff. We helped some customers. And we enjoyed working together so much that we decided, as all the block producers together, to strategically work on projects and customers that were not related to the block producing activity. So block producing is really separate. Some of us do it for multiple chains. Some of us do it for different multiple chains. But the other activities, we started to work together. When the ENF was founded, Yves approached us if we wanted to help him with the blue paper strategy. So we took the task to write the Core Plus white paper. We also took the initiative to launch EOS.business a few years ago. So we had a network of companies and individuals that focused more on the business side, business to business applications. EOS Costa Rica and Rewire were members of that team. And so we took on the task to write the Core Plus blue paper and also invited several companies, Rewire and EOS Costa Rica, Gimli, a whole list of companies to help us with that. Yves particularly liked that we had everything in place. We were a company, we had lawyers, we had staff, we had a legal entity that could pass the test of his foundation. And he gave us the assignment to do that. So we participated in the discussions after the blue papers were written, and discussions were there how to prioritize stuff. Yves and I chatted regularly on what Zaisan as a company could do more for ENF. My suggestion was to do more the marketing side, be the feet on the ground in Europe. So he asked me to write a plan, and that plan consists of 3 parts. The first part is a partnership with Gartner. They have around 2,500 analysts, and these analysts monitor the IT industry, and you can hire them as a tech provider to advise you on strategy, and as an end user and as an enterprise, you can hire them to guide you in the landscape of IT products and services. If a big firm, needs a new storage unit, then typically they call Gartner and say, help us with defining a shortlist, help us with writing the request for proposal, help us out. And because they have thousands of customers, tech companies ask them questions, okay, what do customers typically want in this industry? Gartner publishes all kinds of white papers and strategy documents. So this first part that I propose to Yves is have a relationship with Gartner. We have 3 seats, meaning that we have 3 accounts, so we can, with 3 people, connect with them. 1 from ENF and 2 from Zaisan, and we can ask them all kinds of questions. And we can introduce those analysts to the tech stack of ENF and the tech stack of also our ecosystem. So that's part 1, a partnership with Gartner, really focused on getting enterprise clients to the EOS ecosystem and the Antelope ecosystem, I would say. The second part is the feet on the ground. So we have defined a schedule of 11 events in Europe and Dubai. That are the 2 regions that we take on. And we staff that booth. So together with ENF, the booth is designed. We will have our own pop-up booth. And we will be on the ground, on the floor, at those trade shows, talking to everybody that comes along. There can be a former EOS enthusiast, can be an investor, can be a software developer, can be an enterprise client, can be somebody just interested in blockchain. And we are currently writing what we call an event Bible. And this approach might be copied to other continents. So in North America, we will have an event Bible, frequently asked questions on a booth like that. The third part is the business development after that. So right now we hired a team of salespeople, business development people that have the job to follow up on all the contacts that we gather from those events. The list that we have is already published. The booth on token 2049 will be staffed by ENF himself in Singapore, but next weeks we will start with basically our roadshow. There will be 11 events. I will be 9 of them. I will do some keynote speeches. I will do some forum attendance, and I will only do 9 because there's also a few on the same date. So after this, we will really have a good view on where's the market. So the first event, we will not have a booth. That's a Gartner Security and Risk Management Summit. I will be there just to network and meet people. I'm now on their portal to see who should I talk to, because all the attendees are on such a portal. So I try to select and reach out to those people. The second one on the list is TechEd in Amsterdam. 5,000 people are expected. That's the first time we will have a booth. Partly overlapping, we will be at Web3 Vision. That's a part of the Mexico. It's a very big marketing event in Cologne, Germany. There, on both events, the Amsterdam and the Cologne event, I will have speaking engagements. So every day, basically, I will have to give a talk. In Cologne, 38,000 people are expected. Then we have some days off, and in October, we have a DeFi conference in Belfast. Small one, 300 attendees. The Web3 event in Cologne with 38,000. You can imagine a completely different approach than a DeFi conference with 300 people. Then 10 to 13 October, we'll do Future Blockchain Summit in Dubai with 100,000 people attending. That's the biggest one on the list. We will have 7 people there. So it will be a very big event in Dubai, 1 week of 10 days even in total. And this event, the summit, the Future Blockchain Summit, is the highlight of that event. So we will be there with a big group of people. Then 26 and 27 October, we will be in Zaragoza in a more gaming focused event. It's called Blockchain Expo. And then after that, 1st of November, we will do Web Summit in Lisbon. Web Summit is basically one of the biggest IT events and startup events in Europe. 70,000 people, very large keynote speakers, very big event for everybody that has been there. Pretty chaotic event even. I've been there twice. It's very difficult to find your way if you're there for the first time because it has a lot of booths, a lot of startups get free booth presence there, and some big companies also. And also the European Commission and the European Investment Bank and all kinds of big companies, the Deloitte and PricewaterhouseCoopers, all these big companies also have a big presence. There's a very big corner, and it's 4 big halls with a lot of activities, a lot of people. So big booth there, and hoping to talk to a lot of people. Then there's the Gartner Symposium. That's the biggest Gartner event in Europe. There's one in Asia and one in North America. And we will do the Barcelona one, 10,000 people. As attendees, with 3 people, we will visit that and try to network with enterprise CIOs and CEOs. And then there's Token 2049. We have one in Singapore coming up very shortly, but there's also one in London, 9 and 10 November. A bit smaller than the Singapore one, 3,000 people expected, but we will be there as well. Part of the package that that ENF negotiated for Singapore. Then we will do another Gartner event. In the deal that we closed with Gartner are a few of these events where we can go to as attendees to network with other people. And then there's TechEd Blockchain Expo in London, first 2 days of December with 6,000 people expected. So there's a lot of people, 234,000 attendance expected, that we hope to get in touch with and fill our CRM system with people that might express interest in learning more about EOS and the Antelope framework.